Hello everybody, my name is Heather and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Curse of the Sphinx and Demigods and Monsters by Raye Wagner. Because I am a host of booktube tours created by Grace from Loving Dem Books, I got sent copies of these books in exchange for an honest review by the author herself, Raye Wagner. So I'm really excited to be a part of this because I saw both Reagan from Prue's Project and Sasha from A Book Utopia do reviews of these, so I was already kind of familiar with them and I really wanted to get a chance to read them. So I'm excited about that. There are pretty cool links regarding these books, like where you can get them, in the description box below, as well as links about Raye Wagner, her social media, and all of that cool stuff. There will be a Facebook party at the end of this book tour, and the link for that should be coming up pretty soon, and that's for all of the hosts plus all of our subscribers. So when I get the link for that, I'll be sure and put it in the description box as well. But other than that, let's just get into the review of this. So I have finished Curse of the Sphinx, and I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I'm currently reading Demigods and Monsters, and I can already tell that it's gonna be a lot better, so this might end up being like a 4 out of 5 stars, but I will definitely let you know on Goodreads. If you follow my reviews on Goodreads, I'll be posting a review for both of these books. So let's kind of get into the synopsis a little bit. So Curse of the Sphinx follows our protagonist, Hope, who is a Sphinx as well as her mother, and they have been moving from town to town for all of Hope's life, as long as she can remember. And Hope has never really been allowed to lay down any roots or make friends or really anything like that, because they have to move at the drop of a hat if there's any sign of danger, because they have been cursed, or the Sphinx has been cursed by Apollo for, I think, once every 25 days or something like that, pretty much like once a month, they have to change into the Sphinx for 2 days. And in addition to that, there's also kind of a crummy aspect of the curse, which I don't really want to tell you, because when you find out as you read the book, you're like, whoa, that really sucks. So anyway, she is a Sphinx, her mother is a Sphinx, and at the very beginning of the book, her mother actually gets killed, and then Hope has to kind of figure out how to live on her own without her mother, and she's dealing with the grief of, you know, losing her mother, and she also wants to know what happened. She kind of thinks that it's one thing, but she really wants to know for sure. So for the book, she kind of moves to another place and goes to school there. So she's in high school. She's got her aunt out trying to figure out what happened to her mother. And at school, she meets quite a few people. There's the typical mean girl who, I mean, I hated her, but I also hated that there kind of had to be a mean girl. I didn't really like that aspect of it. I'm kind of over girl on girl, like, hate. I want support and love. But I mean, at the same time, it adds that layer of angst and it adds that layer of conflict that does make books interesting. So around the same time that Hope starts school here at this high school, a mysterious boy moves to the town, and this is a very small town, so having 2 new people within a very close, you know, range of each other is quite interesting news. And of course, he's super attractive, and she's also very, very pretty. And yeah, he just kind of takes an interest in her. But when you're reading the book, you already know who he is, because he actually appears in the prologue of the book. So as you've been reading it, you've been waiting for him to appear. You know that he's going to have probably some sort of romance associated with Hope. So throughout the book, you're kind of waiting for that, and that is one of the reasons that you keep turning the pages, because I know I'm a sucker for romance in young adult books, and I'm always interested to see how things play out. Of course, she hates him at first, and I know a ton of people love that whole dynamic of like girl hates guy, but then like they fall in love sort of thing. So you do get that aspect of it. You also get the whole slow burn and there's a slow buildup of the romance. It does not happen immediately. They don't automatically like confess their love for each other, because that can get annoying. So you don't have that, which is really good. And Hope as a character is just really smart. She's got a really good head on her shoulders. She takes good care of herself. I mean, she doesn't put herself in super reckless or dangerous situations. I mean, sometimes she does, but she knows that there's that danger, so she makes sure that she can fight for herself. So she actually does Taekwondo, which is interesting because Raye Wagner herself does Taekwondo. So any of those scenes where she's doing combat are actually really realistic, and they're written very clearly, so you can really see that mental movie of how the fight is happening. So I really did appreciate that. Authors should really write what they know, like Raye Wagner did. So a little more about the world that we're in. So it is our modern world, but the difference is that people actually still pray to the Greek gods. They still do offerings to the gods, and there are actually demigods among them. It's not like a super often occurrence. It's actually quite rare. So there might be maybe like 1 or 2 demigods at a school, but then they usually get moved to a special school just for them. So in this world, there's Greek mythology, and it's a kind of fresh, interesting take on Greek mythology, incorporating it into our natural world. So into our modern world, I should say. So that was really cool. I did enjoy that aspect of it. I don't read a lot of Greek mythology books, but I thought that if you're not really into reading Greek mythology, you might actually enjoy this, because it's kind of got that, you know, real world feel to it. Just instead of saying, oh my God, they go, oh my gods, or they're kind of like different curses or something like that. So a lot of thought was put into the world building of this series, which I really do appreciate. On that note, this first book to me, while I did keep reading it because I felt very invested in the characters and I wanted to know what was going to happen and how the curse was going to kind of play out. This did feel like a setup novel. There was a lot of world building, there was a lot of character building, and you're learning about everything that is going through the characters' minds, basically. So in beginning Demigods and Monsters, it starts out a lot more fast-paced, in my opinion. You're meeting more people. There's already some angst with Hope and Athen. In my head I was saying Athen for the male protagonist, but Reagan from Peruse Project said Athen, so I don't know, Athen. There's already some angst beginning between those two characters at the beginning of the book. And you automatically, like within the first few pages, you meet another guy named Zan, and I can already sense that there might be some sort of love triangle with that, which I am a sucker for a good love triangle. I don't know what it is about me, but I love it. And then there's also a kind of school aspect to this book as well. She's not going to be going to a regular high school. There is something different that's going to be happening that does have a lot to do with her mission for this book, which I really don't want to get into because it's a little spoilery, so I don't want to spoil you guys, but I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know exactly how it's going to play out. Even if I did, I wouldn't want to tell you because spoilers. So, but I can already tell you I am really into it. It probably won't take me very long to read this. Curse of the Sphinx only took me like a couple of days. So if you follow me on Snapchat, which you should, I am HeatherJo720, you have seen how I've been reading this very quickly. Alright, so that is it for my reviews of Curse of the Sphinx and Demigods and Monsters by Raye Wagner. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more book reviews and a ton of other cool bookish related videos. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!